Hi, I'm Ekai Joel Kreisberg, and I'm your host for the 10-day Mondo Challenge. And this is an invitation for you to join us for 10 days of considering, reconsidering, investigating, deepening, and going as far as you're willing to go into Mondo facilitation and the Mondo Koans. So the invitation is, or where we started is why? Why am I doing this? Why would I even bother? And I think it's really important to consider, the origins of Junpo's work. The origins of Junpo's work is in koan study, because Junpo was, a monk at Daibasatsu, and he spent a lot of time doing traditional Rinzai koans, and koans are a relationship with a question that one uses as a prompt for meditation and as a discussion point with a teacher. So for the 10-day Mondo Challenge, essentially I'm your teacher because I will be offering a new question each day and giving you something to consider. A koan as well is also a public case. It's a way that Dharma teachers teach by asking you to reflect and consider about the wisdom that was within the actual phrase, within the actual in the koan itself. So I serve as your teacher in that particular way too. Koans emerged in essentially a long time back in China. The Chan Buddhists, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th century, the Sung dynasty, is where the origination of a lot of the koans. But the koans were a response to the earlier teachings of Buddhism, Gautama Buddhism, in which essentially the invitation is to come to terms with these three basic principles. The principle of impermanence, which is everything is changing all the time. Suffering, that there is suffering. Being alive includes suffering. The Sanskrit word is dukkha for that. And then selflessness, which is a way of saying that the self that we identify with, the me, is not a fixed, concrete, eternal thing. Rather, it's a dependent structure that is conditioned and develops and arises as we grow. So the infant born into this world doesn't really have a sense of self yet, me. It's receiving stimulus from mom and the environment and circumstances, and then develops more and more concrete notions of self. But essentially, you hear the term selfless or no self, and in Buddhism, the language is emptiness, but it's not really empty in the terms of nothing. It just means there's no fixed identity, and that our identity is actually fluid based on the conditions. If they are based on conditions, then we can, by the type of inputs we put into our system, change. We can become more awake. We can become more loving. We can become more compassionate. And since everything's changing, we can meet the moment with compassion and kindness. So we work with koans over and over and over and over again. It's part of the way that we practice, or we like to listen to songs over and over and over again. How many songs do you remember still from your high school years? There's always something very satisfying about this. So there's something very satisfying about doing Mondo Zen. Mondo Zen at this stage, the last version of it, the 20th anniversary rendition of the Mondo Manual, there are 13 koans. We're going to focus on the 10 ego deconstruction, reconstruction koans. And essentially, the idea is I am going to offer a brief teaching, just like I'm doing right now, each day, and a practice that goes along with it. And I will be offering it through your inbox when you wake up each morning, and you'll choose how much you want to meditate with it, practice during the day. And if you are interested in a Sangha, then you can log in and join the conversation and see what other people are doing during that particular thing. So the 10-day Mondo Challenge starts March 9th, and the invitation is please join us, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Swaha.